The content-first approach means that we have the page content, the copy, the images, and other assets provided to the designer before the design phase begins. This approach allows for a highly customized design that truly fits your messaging. Content that guides the design typically leads to a better user experience. When we understand what you need, we can arrange assets that best highlight exactly what you're hoping to achieve with the website in a well-structured, prioritized, visually balanced way. We can fine-tune everything you need and exclude anything that you don't. If your team can't commit to creating content immediately, or you need support in structuring your content specifically for the web, we create in this process a branded template for your site. If we've done a website strategy, we'll have the data-driven understanding of what your messaging should be. But unless we're writing all the content for your site, we won't have a comprehensive set of copy blocks, of image blocks that will ultimately lead to that design. The outcome here is that you'll need to edit and arrange your content so that it fits the template that we've created. We can create brilliant and beautiful layouts this way. However, as the content is created later, we may find that you have something unexpected to share, or we may find that you need to eliminate something from the template that we've included, which could force us to go back to the drawing board and create new or altered designs to fit that content, potentially blowing up the project budget. In this example, you can see there's an interaction here where when you hover over one of the pathways that a user can take, you get more information about that pathway. Knowing this precise messaging and the flow that this page needed, it allowed us to create this interactive layout. Taking the user down one of two paths, we could balance the text here with the graphics because we knew exactly what needed to be conveyed. In the design for this page, we knew we were working with these 4 product types. We had to feature those, and we had some great imagery from the client. The round image here that clearly contained 3 of these featured content areas was a real highlight. Because we knew exactly what we were working with, we could create the graphical elements. The curled arrows coming out of that center image, for example, pointing exactly at the content that they were representing. If this needed to be a generic layout, we would, where maybe we didn't know what the image was and we would possibly have to swap it out later, we would not have been able to integrate the copy and the imagery here so tightly in this design. Similarly, in this example, we're working with recipe data, so we know exactly what types of content are going to be needed. The prep and cook time, the serving information, the ingredients and the directions. We could arrange the categories in an easy to scan layout. We knew the directions copy was always going to be longer than the ingredients list. So the designer came up with this bold yellow background that really drove the visual appeal and the readability of this layout. Plus, we love having them side by side where the user can scan both sections at the same time when they're in a desktop view. We knew that this client had specific and important metrics to share, so we highlighted that in the design. On their old site before a redesign, these metrics were just sort of buried in text. Knowing that they existed and were important allowed us to pull them out in a really visual appealing way. So in summary of content first, this approach allows us to create the most engaging experience for your users in the most efficient manner. We have a roadmap to create exactly what you need and nothing that you don't.